Good morning, students. Welcome back to online learning class. Hope you all are good, fit, and fine. Today we are going to start new lesson 4.1 Life of the Early Man 1. Let's start our lesson. The life of the early man was different from the life of the modern man. The early man lived thousands of years ago. In those days, there were very few men. They did not have houses to live in. They lived in forest. They did not live at one place. They wandered here and there like wild animals. The early man had to face many difficulties. He found it difficult to protect himself from wild animals. He was not so strong as the animals. He could not run so fast as the animals. He did not have any weapons to protect himself from these animals. The early man had another difficulty. He did not know how to grow food for himself. He had to live on what he could get in the forest. He lived on roots and fruits only. Sometimes he killed wild animals and ate their flesh. See, children, in early days, humans' life was very hard. They spent their life in caves, wrap animal skin and tree leaves over their body and hunt animals for food. With time, they discovered many good things like fire, tools, farming, etc. that made their that made their life better than earlier. But these changes in early humans' life had taken a very long time. Through early human life educational series, we are trying to take some snapshots of efforts made by early humans to become civilized. Today, we live a better life in concrete flats and facilitated with TV, video, school and colleges have variety of nutritional foods and better means of communication and transportation. But can you imagine a life without such facilities for us? A life where there is no big society, no house to live, no good food, no clothes to wear, etc. How does it feel to listen? Yes, you're right. We're talking about the wildlife, and this was the life of none other than our early man who used to live in jungle and lived a very hard life. Early humans lived in jungle and were afraid of bigger and stronger wild animals. Earlier, they had no house to live in, and They spend their time on the trees or hide themselves behind the bushes, but it could provide them security from wild animals, rain, winter, and sun heat. So they started living in caves. Clothes is the basic necessities of humans. They started wrapping tree leaves and animal skin over their body to protect themselves from cold and heat. But they needed food also to live. They do not know how to grow crops in fields, and finding food was not easy. In search of food, they had to go from one place to another. Earlier, they used to eat fruits from tree or roots of plants. Then they started hunting animals for food. In start, early men started killing small animals for food, but they could not kill large animals with their bare hands. So they used sharp edged stones to kill animals. Probably this was the first tool he had started using for his need. They kept on improving their tools with time and requirements. They found that if they tied a sharp stone to a long piece of wood, they could throw it to a wild animal at a longer distance, and they did not require go near to kill it. This was the invention of a spear. Later on, they improved it by making with bones and started using tools not only for hunting but also for cutting and digging. Early men ate raw flesh as they did not know how to cook their food. They had seen broken out fire in jungle but did not know how to make it and how they could use it. Rather, they were afraid of it like animals. With time, they felt that they could use it for keeping themselves warm in winter, but making fire was really a big problem. So, they decided to keep jungle fire burning and started to adding dry grass or leaves to it. But it was not a permanent solution. That's all for today. Thank you, students.